Everyone, sorry for just being, I think, probably a minute or two late starting, but we're at the last of the breakout sessions. I can't believe we've made it this far. I shouldn't say we've made it this far. We've got here so quickly today. But this session, how AI is redefining strategy, spend and scale for global benefits management. We have Chris and Rob who will be talking through. I believe we've got a demo. Fingers crossed everything is going to be working for us here. Please use Slido. As always, if we do have time for questions, they'll be asked. If not, the guys will be hanging around and can catch up shortly. So,
over to us.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. The last session of the day. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. For those who I haven't met in the past, my name's Chris Bruce. My background is I co-founded Thompson's back in 2000, became Darwin, was bought by Mercer. I've then been angel investing and working with VCs in investing into HR and benefit tech. And then, and so I've been really lucky. I've got to see the technology changing this industry over the years. But I have never been as excited to see the potential of AI on this industry. And when I had the sort of ChatGPT moment that many of us have had, I thought I want to get back in again and started to build Origin. And so we've been working for the last 18 months. And when we started building the platform, I picked up the phone to some clients. Let me come into a bit more detail. And one of the clients I picked up the phone to was Rob, who is an innovator, a truth teller, very direct conversations we've had over the years, and said, Rob, do you want to come on board? And I'm delighted that Rob is going to share the stage and talk about their experience of implementing Origin. So, we have not got a lot of time, and we've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to talk relatively quickly. Origin. So we called our technology Origin because it's all about getting to the source of truth of your data, and ultimately we believe solving the biggest problem that the industry faces. And Origin is the world's first global benefits intelligence platform. It's a technology that has been built specifically for you as global benefit leaders and global benefit teams. It's not employee-facing. And we called it a Global Benefits Intelligence Platform because it's all about global benefits. It's all about giving you intelligence, the power of AI. And it's a platform because it sits at the center of an ecosystem. At the heart of Origin is Credo. And Credo is the first purpose-built artificial intelligence built specifically for the complexity of the worlds that you live in, of retirements, leaves, allowances, collective labor agreements, and much, much more. And we called our AI Credo after the Spanish for I take care, because we know the most important thing is you can trust the AI. And as important to us as building our technology is building a community of change, a movement of people who simply aren't happy with the status quo, the way that the industry currently works, and want to be part of driving change within it. And we were incredibly lucky that we had some incredible initial pioneering companies who joined us right at the very beginning of this journey. And this was really important because whilst we have really strong experience in benefit technology, what I've discovered is actually how incredibly challenging your roles are. And we wanted to make sure that we were building technology to solve your problems, not what we thought were your problems. We also needed huge amounts of data to make sure that we were properly building out our Credo. And so at the beginning of the journey, I went out to 11 multinationals across the US and Europe and said, this is what I think is the biggest problem in the industry, and this is how I believe AI can solve this problem. Would you be interested in working with us as co-creators to build Origin and Credo? And of the 11, 7 said yes. And these companies, and you'll hear this from Rob, they drive our roadmap. We talk about it not being our roadmap, it's our client's roadmap, and it's our clients driving what we're doing. And of the 4 companies that didn't come on board initially, 2 of them have now joined us, so we've now working with 15 leading multinationals. And what we're building is unbelievably complicated. And so we needed a team of top talent to be able to pull this together. So we're a team of 55 people. We have 500 plus years of benefit tech experience. Our core engineering team and product team is the team that built Darwin. But importantly, we've also supplemented the team with experts in global consulting, in risk financing, in M&A, in retirement, in HR transformation. And that's really important because we needed that expertise to be able to build out the platform to solve the problems and challenges that you've got. Importantly, we are a pure tech company. We're not looking to provide consulting or other services. And in order to be able to build what we're doing, we needed to secure prop financing, so we raised $21 million earlier on this year. But as important as raising the money was having some incredible investors and advisors to come on to help us to achieve what we're looking to achieve. And so our four investor advisors are Tudor, who came on as the CHRO of Meta from 2010 to 2022. Jackie is the current Chief CHRO and Chief AI Enablement Officer for ServiceNow. Paul is acclaimed author on AI and its impact on enterprises. He's just stepped down as being the CTO and CIO of Accenture. And Laura leads OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT in EMEA. So some absolutely fabulous people helping us on our journey. So, Rob, when we started sort of going through the world of global benefit teams, and I'd been in global benefits all my career. I'd never appreciated how incredibly challenging your worlds are and your lives are. How you're, in many ways, probably one of the most unsupported functions within a business. How you are juggling, I can see quite a few nods as I say that, how you're juggling benefits, retirements, leaves, allowances, how you're dealing with incredibly fragmented data with information stored in different policies, different languages, formats, all across the world. How your world is endless spreadsheets. And my favorite was a client saying to me, well, we keep all of our information in spreadsheet, benefit information, version 27, final, with the last final being in capitals. And then when you turn around to your brokers or consultants to get information, you find out that they're also running things on spreadsheets. You get a fire drill from leadership who think this is going to be a quick question, but it takes you a week to be able to answer it. And you're navigating compliance risks. You know that you've got this enormous spend, second largest people cost, but you're unable to find opportunities to be able to optimize it. And you so desperately want to be strategic and making sure that that enormous spend is working for you and the people within your organization, but you just don't have the information to do it. And what you told us is that many of these challenges would disappear if you just had a trusted source of information that enabled you to easily access and easily query and find the information you needed immediately. And you're right to ask for that, because over the last 25 years, every single function has been transformed with technology, apart from benefits. You're the only team that doesn't have technology to help you to do what you're looking to do. You have no dashboards, you have no structured data, you have no strategic lens of what's happening. Until now, clearly. And so AI creates the opportunity to transform this industry. And so what is Origin? So Origin is your platform. As I said, it's built for you for global benefit teams. It includes all of your information, all your benefits, your retirements, your leaves, your allowances, collective labor agreements, and a huge amount more. What Origin is not employee-facing. We took, and that was a very clear decision from day one, because we want you to be able to go live instantly. So as soon as you start loading data in, you're getting value from the platform. There's no integration. And our view was that the employee-facing landscape is incredibly crowded already. So we'll support those and work directly with those tools as opposed to trying to compete with them. So we've talked about Origin and Quido being the brains within Quido. And so now that we're in this world of AI, you're going to be hearing terms all the time like agentic and human in the loop and various other things. And a term I'm going to throw at you is expertise. So as we're developing Credo, we're developing areas of expertise. And areas of expertise are combinations of skills. And the first area of expertise that we've developed and combination of skills we've developed is if you to imagine being able to recruit somebody who speaks every language in every country you operate in, has a deep understanding of contracts, insurances, policy documents, benefits, and retirements in all markets, and can read through all of those documents and put them into a database. Well, that's the first skill that we taught Credo to do. And so that's what Credo does. Takes all your information, it localizes it, translates it into English. We run through about 22 different steps to make sure it's trusted. Information comes out, and then you've got your trusted database. What our clients say is for the first time they actually know what they've got, and they've got the ability to see it and understand it. And then the second area of expertise that we have developed is the Ask Credo, which gives you the ability to accurately query Origin. So for global benefit teams, you don't have to go out to your local teams and ask questions. You can just query Origin directly, Ask Credo. Local benefit teams can use it, retirement, risk management, finance, and soon other AI agents. And so that is, I'm on time. It's taken me 10 minutes.
You're doing very well, Chris. Well done.
So I apologize for talking quite so fast. So what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to show you the platform. And so, Ollie?
It's there.
OK, we're there. Good. OK, so what you're seeing here is Rob and our other co-creators' design of the information that they wanted to have. I'm going to literally give you like a 3-minute demo, and obviously we'd love to spend more time with you separately. But in this instance, what I can see is actually how many benefits am I offering, what I'm actually spending, what are my employees spending, my fees, my commissions, how my benefits offered breaks down, what processes are coming up. I can see the cost for my different countries, but actually, let's say I just want to know how much my employees are spending. I can start breaking the information down. I can look at each country that I'm in, what benefits are offered, how many vendors are in those countries, statutory benefits, costs, fees, commissions, average cost per employee. And again, this is all coming from source information. I can see all the information, all of my different insurance companies around the world. And in this example, I can see that with Zurich, I've got 7 benefits. I'm spending 10 million pounds. I didn't know that. And I may now want to have a conversation with Zurich and see if I can consolidate that down to 5 policies, maybe make some savings and improve my service I've got. I can also view for all my brokers the information on which benefits they're looking after, the details of their fees and commissions, and then each local country is rating the quality of the services that they're providing. So when you have meetings with your global brokers, you can have really meaningful discussions to actually share with them what can be done to improve the quality of the service. There's a lot more in here, but I'm just going to whiz through. So I've shown you something really high level, and I'm now going to go right into the detail. So if I go into career, can I just, for a bit of audience participation, can I just ask, is there anybody here who speaks Korean? No? OK. So what I'm going to show you is, getting information into Origin is simple drag and drop. But here's what I've done earlier. So here is a Korean policy document. And the first thing that Origin does, as I mentioned, is Origin Credo will translate the document. But amazingly, you'll see it's translated the document, but it's held the exact format of the document. The next thing that Credo has done is it's extracted an overview. So key features, what's included, what's excluded from the policy. And also, I can get right into the detail of the definition. I may want to go all the way down to my different options, my unit rates, real detail. And so if you think in like a normal world, if you have a question about your Korean accidental death and dismemberment policy, how you would go about doing it. The second area of expertise that we created within Credo, as I mentioned earlier on, is the ability, we always have to rate every answer that's given. So, hey Credo, Quinto, okay, that's my very bizarre writing. And I have to remember that I'm actually talking.
Yep.
I better remind Chris not to do demos. What is the level of hospitalisation cover in the accidental death and dismemberment policy? And Credo is now running off, doing its thing, and coming back with the answer. And I can, of course, go to the benefit. I can find the source information. What I've also realized is that actually I've also got hospitalisation covered under my group accident insurance. So I'm paying twice for one benefit. Now, that's insured benefits, but let's look at something a bit different. So if we go into the UK, and I'm going to ask a different question. So in this instance, I've been asked to pull together some information to show what our family-friendly benefits are. Please provide details of all family-friendly benefits that we offer, and please provide the answer in bullet point format. Thank you. Now, we've got a lot of information on the UK site, and so it's going to take a couple of minutes to do this. So just while it's doing this, I'm just going to show you. It's been well behaved. It's actually beaten me to it and completely broken my demo flow. But you can see that I've immediately got the answer coming straight back out around both my benefits, but also going all the way down to my leaves. And where I was going to go is I'm just going to show you also how we're also covering. If I go to, I'm going to go to Portugal. No, it's Brazil, actually. I'm going to go to Brazil. And just to sort of give you an idea, I'm going to just show you, again, sort of documents, again, that you guys are dealing with all day long. I'm going to show you a Brazilian D&I policy that we've got. And of course, as you've seen before, first thing that Credo has done is to translate this document, again, holding exactly the same format as before. So I could talk for hours and hours and hours and demo so much that we've got in here, but I think you'd probably rather hear from Rob. Great.
Thank you very much, Chris. So you can see the passion that Chris has behind it. What I would just like to do is to just quickly introduce who we are as a company. So Iveco Group is a global manufacturer. We focus on trucks, buses, we build engines and many other things. So why are we interested in AI? Well, firstly, I'm very passionate about it, as Chris knows, and I constantly ask questions about it. So I'm very much aware, maybe some of you have these thoughts, that there is a lot of AI phraseology given out there. There's lots of companies purporting AI solutions, but I can say hand on heart, I've quizzed and I've worked very closely with Origin, and we are utilizing the power of large language models to be able to gain the information, extract the information, so that data really can become information. To me, that's the critical bit. Data for data's sake is very boring. So as a manufacturing company, of course, we're on a journey as well, and we're utilizing technology to build autonomous vehicles, be those very large, heavy-duty haulage vehicles, be they medium-sized vehicles, and you'll see them, like delivery vans, or light, which you'll see more as vans, actually, sorry, I used the wrong terminology, much smaller vans. But also buses as well, buses that automatically park, and everything else. So we are, although smell of oil, very much focused on the possibilities and the opportunities of technology. Today, one of our big challenges we had was really a complete lack of visibility around our benefits. They were all dotted around the world in very different languages. How many of you send out templates to find out information from the countries that you're responsible for? A quick show of hands. Okay, so there's a number. How many of you have worked on benefits comparisons, whether it's due to TUPE transfers, whether it's acquisitions or mergers? Okay, so a reasonable number. And we all know, firstly, sending out the spreadsheets takes a while to come back, and benefits comparisons, oh my Lord, they take forever. There's so much pressure, and it's never done fast enough. And unfortunately, rewards are always at the end of the cycle, and people just want it now. So this is where I personally see, and the other co-creators see, the power of utilizing this tool. And for Chris's credit, him and his company have listened to us. We are companies like yourself, working and focused on benefits. So I'm going to have to speed through my slides. So to me, this is why utilizing AI really helps your day jobs. They started with a vision, and I have to say they've listened and they've kind of moved, and they are extremely client-centric. But I think what I'm highlighting here are probably the same challenges that you all have. Trying to get hold of your benefit information, understand it, answer those fire drill questions, and then inputs into surveys. It takes so long. It's a thankless task, I will be very transparent. But then people like me, I'm a global head of rewards, I absolutely ask my team to do it. Why? Because I value the information back that we get. But I know it's a horrible piece of work to do. So why Origin? So it really gives me access to my information. And I know that may sound strange. Well, Rob, you've already got it. Yes, I do, but they're on PowerPoints, they're on PDF documents, all on people's computers dotted around in different countries. I had the CLO, so the Chief Legal Officer, come to me with a question. Rob, can you tell me more information about our medical benefit in Italy? So before, I would have to call up my Italian colleagues. They would have to understand what I'm asking. And again, everyone speaks business English, I understand, but sometimes maybe how I phrase it is one way, how they understand it is a slightly different way. They wouldn't be clear whether they wanted just a translation, a short summary. I wasn't clear on what the CLO really wanted. But utilizing Quido and Origin, immediately I had a summary in English. I could email it. So this took me, 5 minutes, I think. Before, if I picked up the phone, had this conversation, waited for the email back, and I know my team would not have thanked me for asking it, but that's just the reality, they would have taken a little bit of time preparing this information for me. This, 5 minutes, question answered, and the world moved on. Okay, so it's a very different world now. And utilizing this type of technology really helps you and your teams in your day-to-day work. It isn't just about risk benefits, though. So you heard Chris talking about AD&D, your life insurance, your pensions, and everything else. But benefits are so much wider than that. You could have voluntary benefits. You could have documents that are really HR policy documents that maybe cover leave entitlements. Well, guess what? The Origin tool will take it all. So yes, your broker will have your risk benefits on their system. You will have maybe local HR documents on your company intranet, but bringing it together is a thankless task. And this is what this tool really enables. And once you've got that data together, that's where the information happens. Why? because then you can start asking questions to it directly. Then you can start to do the benefits comparisons. Then you can start to do the comparisons year over year of what's actually changed. And again, with a quick show of hands, how many of you, when you go through the brokering exercise, how many of you read the new documentation? I know we should, and I know we should double check, but how many of you do it? I'll be transparent, I don't. So this is why a tool like this is really important. I know I'm out of time, so I will stop there.
Rob, do you want to do the next slide? 'Cause I think it's so powerful to actually what has been achieved.
So this is what, as Iveco, we've actually uploaded into the tool. So the ingestion is very quick. And this is why Chris highlights it's done at your speed. So no longer is this a long, convoluted integration model that costs a lot. No, you yourself as the user just start the uploading. You and your teams start uploading, and it populates this information. There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, no worries.
And I'm available for questions afterwards.
I was going to say there are actually quite a lot of questions that have come through, so please head direct to the stand or meet by the door if there's anything specific you want to cover.
Yeah, our stand is, as we walk out, we're just on the left.
Perfect.
Okay. But obviously,
please use Slido to rate the session and enjoy your afternoon tea.